The 2010 remake of Piranha was definitely a surprise hit, but as for its sequel, Piranha Double D or Piranha 3DD, is it really that bad as they say it is? Or am I going to have to devour up these bad reviews and prove to them that they are just dead wrong? Find out as I review Piranha Double D or 3DD right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2012 3D horror comedy flick Piranha 3DD or Piranha Double D, released by Dimension Films, directed by John Gulager, who happens to be a son of Clu Gulager, written by Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton. This is part of the Piranha series and the sequel to Piranha 3, starring Danielle Panabaker, Matt Bush, David Koechner, Chris Zylka, Katrina Bowden, Gary Busey, Christopher Lloyd, and David Hasselhoff. And of course, Christopher Lloyd is one of the few people who returned from the first film. The events of the film take place after those of the previous film and include a school of bloodthirsty prehistoric carnivorous piranhas invading a newly opened water park in Arizona. The film was released on June 1st, 2012, and unfortunately, it underperformed at the box office, not doing as hot as its predecessor. If you haven't seen my review of that film, I would advise you to click on that before going into this one, okay? Also, unlike its predecessor, it got this big time. Excuse me. Alright, let's begin with the story that is. A year after the massacre by prehistoric piranhas in Lake Victoria, Arizona, a massive eradication program has left the lake uninhabitable and the town largely abandoned. At Cross Lake, two farmers search the waters. Piranha eggs laid inside a dead cow hatch, and the farmers are killed and eaten. Maddie, a marine biology student, returns home for the summer to the water park she co owns and is annoyed to find that the other owner, her stepfather Chet, plans to add an adult themed section to the water park that allows nudity. Later that night, Maddie's friend Shelby and her boyfriend Josh go ski dipping in the lake where a piranha enters Shelby's, down there. Their friends Ashley and Travis begin have SCX in their van, but Ashley accidentally releases the parking brake, causing the van to roll into the lake. Handcuffed to the van during foreplay and unable to escape, Travis is devoured by piranhas while Ashley on the roof calls for help. No one is around to rescue her. The van sinks into the lake, and the piranhas eat her. The next day, the van is dragged out of the lake, where it is found to be empty. Kyle relays this to Shelby, who attempts to call Ashley, only for the call to go straight to voicemail. A distraught Shelby runs off with Maddie following after her. Maddie finds Shelby sitting on a jetty and goes on to console Shelby about their missing friends. While they are sitting on the jetty, they are both attacked by a school of piranhas. They manage to kill one, and Maddie, Kyle, a cop and Maddie's ex, and Maddie's co-worker Barry take it to marine expert Carl Goodman to examine. He informs them that the piranhas may be moving between lakes and could evolve to travel over land. The trio returns to the lake where they establish that the piranhas cannot enter the pipes connecting the lake and the water park. While Shelby and Josh are having a little SEX, of piranha inside Shelby's bees, well, now you know, bites Josh's wanker, forcing him to chop it off. Both are hospitalized but survive. Kyle is revealed to be corrupt and taking bribes from Chet, who is pumping water from an underground river into the water park. Chet orders Kyle to keep Maddie from finding out about his plans. The adult water park opens with David Hasselhoff in attendance as a celebrity guest. Among the guests are Deputy Fallon and former cameraman Andrew Cunningham, survivors of the previous year's piranha attacks in which Fallon lost his legs. Fallon is there in the hope of overcoming his fear of the water. Maddie attempts to shut the water park down but is stopped by Chad and Kyle. The piranhas enter the area through the pipes and attack, killing many guests. Fallon uses a shotgun leg prosthesis to fight the piranhas, while Hasselhoff rescues a young boy named David, and uncaring Chet attempts to escape, but a low-hanging pennant banner decapitates him. Now for the final act in the ending. You know the procedure. You got 5 seconds to stop this video at once. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. As I count down now, if you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. May instructs Barry to begin draining the pools while she attempts to save those still in the water. However, while rescuing people, she becomes caught in the suction and is dragged down to the bottom of the pool. Barry sees a human-sized adult piranha swimming toward her and throws a litter trident to kill it. After Kyle refuses to save her because of his fear of piranhas, Barry, despite being unable to swim, leaps down and brings her to the surface, at which point May is revived. Thankful to him for saving her, she shares a kiss with Barry, who reveals that he's a crush on her. Another employee, Big Dave, pours chlorine into the pipes, followed by a lit joint. A resulting explosion kills most of the piranhas. Kyle is also killed by a falling trident. The celebrations are cut short when May receives a phone call from Mr. Goodman, who informs them that the piranha left him has escaped its tank and can now move on land. To which May replies that she already knows. A lone piranha emerges from the pool and decapitates David while he tries to photograph it. The film ends with the survivors taking pictures of David's corpse with his hysterical mother covered in blood, and Hasselhoff, overlooking the incident from his chair, calls David a little ginger moron. End of story. So what did I think of Piranha 3DD? Well, it's fun and what have you. It's kind of a little nutsoid, crazy, but still play a bloody, gory goodness. It's fine and what have you. Seriously. Now, eventually, this film actually would be released simultaneously in theaters and video on demand services. But however, then it would soon get released in the US just a little less than a month after it made its release in the UK. But however, in the US, it only received a limited release. Due to this film underperformed at the box office. Yes. As it failed to only make $8 million worldwide on its $7.5 million budget. Its reviews were terrible than its predecessor. The film sits at a mere 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying it strains to up the gore and self-awareness of its predecessor, and despite some celebrity cameos, the result is a dispiriting echo of 2010's horror comedy. Metacritic also wasn't thrilled, giving this a 24 score. Variety was not impressed either, as Leslie Felperin say the movie ups the self-parody so much that it's practically a Wayans Brothers spoof, albeit with fewer jokes. Another reviewer wasn't thrilled, was highly critical of the use of 3D and the film's direction, despite his enjoyment of the previous film. Well, that's understandable. Now, of course, the film was directed by John Gulager, who, of course, is actually son of Clu Gulager, who you might know from various movies like Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, and The Return of the Living Dead. He actually has a cameo in this in the beginning of the film, as a matter of fact, as the character known as Mo, who he and his friend Clayton, played by Gary Busey, encountered the dead cow with the piranha eggs inside. Yes. Now for other characters, well, now two from the first film are back. Christopher Lloyd as Mr. Goodman. Well, he's still pretty good. And Ving Rhames as Deputy Fallon. Unfortunately, he's uncredited though, but he's back. Now, as for the cast, for the rest of the cast, we have Danielle Panabaker, just right about the time she actually made it into the Arrowverse on TV's The Flash as Maddie. I've got to say, I gotta give her credit for that. Of course, this was after she recently appeared in the Friday the 13th reboot 3 years prior. Yeah. Barry is played by Matt Bush, who also played on The Goldbergs. Katrina Bowden plays Shelby, and she, of course, appeared in a couple episodes of One Life to Live, and then later went on to appear on 30 Rock. I gotta say, that character's not too bad. Jean-Luc Bellidu played Josh, and of course, he's been on numerous shows and what have you, such as ABC Family, Pretty Freeform's Baby Daddy. David Koechner, who of course appeared in numerous films, The Dukes of Hazzard, the Anchorman films, and of course this was after he did Final Destination 5, plays Chad. I gotta say, he's a total goofball. His character's nuts. Chris Zylka plays Kyle. He appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man as well as The Secret Circle and HBO's The Leftovers. Well, I will say, most of this cast isn't too bad. And Adrian Martinez plays Big Dave. Yeah, briefly a character. Megan Tandy plays Ashley. Yeah, not too bad. Anyway, and David Hasselhoff as himself. Yeah, crazy, crazy. Anyway, I feel like this film doesn't deserve much hate. This has more cheesy, corny craziness and what have you than as much as the first film, but this has more goriness and TNA galore. Uh-oh, you know what that means. T alert. Yeah, so you're getting a lot of TNA in this. So anyway, yeah. Um, Elliot Samiro, I'm sorry if I mispronounced this. That's the score. It's not too bad. The music's fine, why have you. So Piranha 3DD, it's not 110% as bad as they say it is. It's just all a mixed bag, though. So the cast is fine. The characters are a little good and bad, and I don't know what have you. A mix of both. Story's fine, what have you, but the blood and gore is real good though. Sure, the 3D can be a little, yeah, that's one thing I failed to point out in my review of the previous film. Yeah, 3D can be a little, little key wonkers and what have you. Yeah. So with everything said, Piranha 3D, it's not 110% bad. Would I recommend it? I'd say maybe give it a one-time watch or avoid it and stick with the first film or the other Piranha films. Okay, enough said. So, what did you think of Piranha Double D or Piranha 3DD? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of K-pop Demon Hunters. It's a spoiler-free review. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these other films. Check out my re-review of Jaws in the upper right-hand corner. Well, left-hand corner. I'm getting tongue-tied. I got sidetracked. The upper right-hand corner is my review of the original Piranha from 1978. Or if you would like maybe a little something else that might be a little bit of craziness and cheesiness. Well, maybe not crazy and cheesy, but you can check out my review of Final Destination 5, my original review. I'm planning to revisit the series later on. down the road. In the bottom right hand corner is a button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.